Alright, so it is the Duke 200 this time, and we are here at the showroom of KTM BGC here at Bonifacio Global City, Taguig, again for the nth time to take out another one of their bikes, their smallest displacement motorcycle, the KTM 200 Duke 2020. This time around, KTM BGC was kind enough to lend us a practically brand new unit for us to use over the weekend. So yeah, we will be the one to break in the bike during the course of over a few days. But first, let's finish all the paperwork and then we'll head out to Marilake to test out this bike. So let's go! Alright, so this is the latest iteration of the KTM Duke 200, released here in the Philippines back in 2020. As you all know, I was a previous owner of the first generation of the Duke 200 and I really loved that bike. And I guess KTM outdid itself with the release of this very good looking 2020 version of the Duke 200. When this bike got released back in 2020, the hype on this bike is the inclusion of the ABS as a standard feature, which was disappointingly missing in the older model of the Duke 200. In its latest form, the bike was completely revamped and got a very fresh and modern look, getting a semblance of the beloved second generation Duke 390 with its angular designs and exposed trellis frames, making itself a very aggressive looking street bike available in the market today. This entry-level bike in the KTM lineup is a great choice for first-time riders who want a bike with a quick acceleration and great handling. The lightweight trellis frame, stylish headlamp, orange and black paintwork, and underbelly exhaust pipe are some of the highlighting design elements of the Duke 200. But with a markup price of 169,000 pesos over the older model of the Duke 200, is the bike worth all the hype that it got? Let's find out. Okay, quick specs for the bike. The bike is powered by a 199cc single-cylinder, 4 valves DOHC engine, which produces about 26 horsepower and around 19 Nm of torque. If the figures are quite familiar, that is because they are the same exact engine specifications of the old Duke 200 engine. However, despite having the same engine, the newer Duke 200 2020 has a BS6 classified engine, which is now with the Euro 5 compliant emission exhaust standards with its updated airbox and exhaust systems. That should result to an even more refined power delivery from this bike. The Duke 200 comes with a WP suspension as standard, with a pair of non-adjustable 43mm upside-down forks at the front and a monoshock suspension at the rear. While this bike features the same suspension as that of the old Duke 200, the newer version has more travel suspension, which allows riders to cruise more comfortably, especially on longer stretches of roads. The bike still retained the good bi-rebraking system with 300mm disc at the front and 230mm at the rear. This time, it now features a dual-channel Bosch ABS as standard for all Duke 200 releases, ensuring safety in braking should you have to brake hard and stop suddenly. Unfortunately, it still comes equipped with MRF tires, 110/70/17 at the front and 150/60/17 at the rear. Honestly, these are the first things I would probably upgrade when I get the bike, as these tires are really slippery, especially on wet roads. and as the bike still lacks the sleeper clutch feature that would prevent rear tires from locking up on sudden deceleration or downshifting, I would be extra cautious attacking corners, especially with the slippery stock tires still installed. The bike features an exposed split trellis frame, one of the things that sets this apart from the older Duke 200 version, which has a single piece frame. Not only does this gives the new version a more aggressive stance and sharp lines, it also gives the bike more flexibility as well for possible maintenance down the road. Now, this bike has a larger fuel tank capacity at 13.5 liters, same as that of the Duke 390, from the previous 11-liter capacity of the older Duke 200 version. Likewise, the bike now has a taller seat height of around 823 mm, 13 mm more than its predecessor. And to add, this bike is now heavier by about 10 kg to the old Duke 200 with its dry weight pegged at 140 kg. With all the upgrades and changes to this bike, does this bike now perform better? I guess it would be best to take this bike for a ride and get our impressions of the bike as we go. So let's go! Okay, first off, the 2020 Duke 200 has a seat height higher and dry weight heavier than the old Duke 200, which would probably have been detrimental to some height challenge riders. But again, the effect is quite the opposite, as the increase in height and weight are not really evident as the bike actually feels lighter and easier to maneuver. Quite a number of improvements have been made to this bike that would make it a little more friendly to the rider. Of course, the new split chassis would have probably contributed a lot to this change, but the subtle suspension tweaks also helped. Likewise, the handlebar is noticeably closer to the rider, making it easier to maneuver the bike and made the riding stance more upright and in effect more comfortable, both of which can be advantageous when navigating through traffic, which improves the bike's everyday rideability to another level. Now about the engine. I have tried all the Husqvarna bikes which already have the BS6 engines from KTM, and we noted that there were indeed some differences in their performance, especially when it comes to acceleration when compared to our own KTM motorcycles. I was honestly really hoping that the configurations for the Husky bikes were made intentional specifically for their own motorcycle lineup, and the KTM bikes will still have the punchy acceleration that it is known for. Unfortunately, with the 2020 Duke 200, I was able to confirm that, well, sadly enough, it now has the same behavior as that in the Huskies. A very linear power delivery and none of the punchy acceleration I was used to with the Dukes. The restrictive exhaust of the BS6 engine somehow diluted the sprightly takeoffs that we got used to with the old Duke 200, but not saying it no longer has the torque or the power. You will just have to rev the engine a bit more as the power band move a bit to a higher RPM range. Well, the upside of this change is that the bike now has more refined power delivery, the exhaust sound is much quieter, and the engine heat is noticeably cooler. The instrument panel is same as the old one, still on LCD display, and looks a bit outdated and out of place with the modern design of the bike. Well, honestly, the bike looks very futuristic, and having an LCD screen reminiscent of that old Nokia phone is, knocks off the vibe, right? I am not sure what is with the BS6 engine's transmission, but they do show similar characteristics. While the gear shifting is smooth, it is painfully hard to find the neutral. I find the same behavior in all BS6 models of the Svartpilen and Vitpilen bikes, both 400 and 200cc models, and interestingly also with the Duke 200, which is now equipped with the same BS6 engine. So I am guessing it has to do with the latest engine characteristics. Now this bike's fuel tank capacity has been upgraded to 13.5 liters, and with a claimed fuel consumption of about 40 kilometers per liter, that would bring you to further destinations in one full tank of gas. Unfortunately, I only got 34 kilometers to a liter on wall-wall mode when the bike was with me. But do note, the bike was still in break-in stage, so that does not count. Likewise, we did not get the top speed for the same reason that this bike is still in break-in stage. Alright? Well, overall, the latest KTM Duke 200 is a very nice bike, and its best use is probably as an urban motorcycle, where its lightweight and nimble handling would make it as a terrific daily commuter. The bike's features such as the frame, suspension, styling, and standard ABS are actually remarkable for the price point already. But the limited power may only be compatible with rookies, as one may easily outgrow the bike. Then again, always buy the motorcycle that suits your specific needs. So I guess that's just about it. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And if you're new to my channel, do subscribe to BossTL PH and click that notification bell to be notified of our new uploads. Again, as I always say, stay awesome, stay safe. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.